Hey everyone, James Robinson here, TPI certified PGA professional and aim-point instructor based at the home of Yorkshire Golf, Huddersfield Golf Club. Today, in this video, I'm going to help you pure your wedges and hopefully get approach shots a lot closer to the flag. Now, wedge play is something which is massively overlooked by a lot of club golfers. And if you speak to most professionals and ask them how club golfers can improve, then they'll definitely tell you that anything within 100 yards will help golfers score a lot better, be it putting, be it chipping, be it pitch shots and approach shots from around those distances. Right, so let's start with the setup to a wedge shot. So say I'm going to play a 50-yard pitch. I don't need to stand as wide as I would for a full shot because I'm not creating the same amount of speed, so I can stand a little bit narrower. I am going to keep a little bit more weight on that left side just to make sure that I get the strike. Again, I'm not going to have the weight transfer as I would a full shot, so I'm going to pretty much keep that there. And for me, for a 50-yard pitch, I'm going to feel as though with my shoulders, I take the club back to about this position here. So in my head, I'm maybe imagining a clock, and I might go back to 7 o'clock. So if you imagine I'm stood face on there, take it back to about this position. So the left arm's at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I might change that depending on how far the shot is that I'm trying to hit. From there, all I'm going to do is rotate the body back to the target and use the weight of the wedge to get the strike. I don't need to try and drive the hands at it. I'm not trying to trap the ball massively between the club and the turf. I'm just trying to let the wedge fall on top of the golf ball using gravity really, and that is what's going to help me get the strike. If I release the club correctly, it should travel down to the ball in a fairly shallow angle of attack, and what that's going to do is present the loft at the golf ball. So here you can see I've got a 58-degree Vokey sand wedge. My aim is to present pretty much a decent amount of that loft, should I say, at the golf ball at impact. What I really don't want to see is this kind of position at impact where the hands get forward and I drive it at the golf ball too much. Then it's very inconsistent. So if I do this release on one wedge shot and then this release on another wedge shot, the dynamic lofts are going to be completely different. So effectively you're using two different golf clubs to try and hit the same shot. So you can imagine how difficult that would be in regards to taking the club back different distances for different speeds. A great drill that you can do to help you with this release and help you use the weight of the wedge to get down to the golf ball is by hitting balls one-handed. So I'm going to put my right hand on the wedge, I'm going to set myself up as though I'm going to hit a nice pitch shot, and then from there load up to where I think I want to take the club back to for the distance, and then just let the club fall with the rotation of the body, obviously using gravity to come down. So that's going to look a little bit like this. Now you can see there, I didn't put a great amount of force in it, I didn't need to inject a load of speed into there. As soon as I start the rotation on the way down, that club is going to set pretty much where I want it to, and then find its way down to the golf ball and then through to the other side after the shot into a nice finishing position. Now, having control of your wedge play, there is a big part that is down to the ball striking. So hopefully if you start releasing that club better, like we said, keeping a little bit of weight on that left side, then you'll find it easy to control that wedge shot. Now distance control, that's another matter. Because we're striking the ball better, we now have more of an idea on how to hit the ball different distances. We're now returning the club the same to the ball every time dynamically. So if I want to hit a 20-yard shot as opposed to a 40-yard shot, all I'm going to do, I'm going to imagine that clock face around my body here. So for the 20-yard shot, I might take the club back to 7 o'clock here. Whereas for the 40, 50, 60-yard shot, I might take it back further. Say 60 yards, I may take it back to 9 o'clock here. And what that's going to do, the club is going to be travelling down with the gravity that you're using, but it's going to be travelling quicker because it's travelling more distance. So the weight of the club means it's picking up more speed on the way through. Really good, consistent way of just controlling your distance with the wedges. Now we know that we can control the trajectory in the ball flight without any release. Right everyone, so that was just a few little pointers for you on wedge play. There's many other facets to wedge play, as I'm sure you can imagine, but those few pointers are hopefully just going to help you with your strike consistency and a little bit of distance control. Hopefully that's going to help lower your scores. I have been James Robinson, so I'm James Robinson, TPI certified PGA professional aim pointing instructor here at the home of Yorkshire Golf, Huddersfield Golf Club. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media channels, they are just on the bottom of the screen right now. Thanks again.